the drill I actually could not stand, and I still can't stand.
Let's see it then.
Now, this here is how I used to do my downswing. So my start of my downswing looked like that, incredibly rushed, an absolute blur. Now, I could not get any better when I was doing that. My golf game just completely plateaued. And that was until I went for a lesson with my old coach back in the day. And we did a drill that Tiger Woods used to do back in his prime, so the early 2000s with Butch Harmon. And that was this, pausing at the top, and then swinging through and hitting the golf ball. And that absolutely didn't only just change my golf game, it changed my life as well, really, because that was the main drill that got me into becoming good enough to become a professional. And this is something so many of you golfers out there should be practicing for multiple different reasons. So for me, couldn't stop rushing that downswing. It was just a blur. For me, that resulted in the hand path hugely dropping down, club exiting hugely out towards the right, no body rotation to speak of whatsoever. But for some golfers, when they rush their downswing, they have the opposite problem. They have the hands moving overly on the outside. Their rushing is like they're swinging an axe onto a golf ball. So regardless of what kind of symptom you get from this, this drill is going to help. So Tiger Woods' famous drill that he used to do with Butch Harmon, pausing at the top. He said he hated this drill. I wasn't a fan of it either, because when I used to do this drill, I'd pause at the top and then I'd hit terrible shots like that. I would top it, I would thin it, I would do anything other than hitting a good golf shot. And that is why that was the case, is because I was so severe in my rushing in that downswing. What my coach said to me, he said, keep doing that drill until you can hit the ball well. The reason why you ultimately suck at it is because your downswing is really, really bad. He said another word than that, but absolutely it's to the same effect. So for every single golfer out there who rushes that downswing, this should be part of your drill repertoire. So getting up to the top of the backswing and pausing for at least a second, and then swinging through and down, because not only does it get that nice smooth downswing transition, what it also does is get the perfect sequencing, because when you pause up towards the top and then you start down, your lower body and mid torso will start to work first, and in that club, for you guys who are, let's say, throw the club out, your club's going to start to drop a little bit more. But for the guys like me who would drop the hand a ton, if I'm still going to hit a good distance from here at the top pausing, my body has to really open up and turn. Because look at guys like Cameron Young, for example, has that pause at the top and then boom, goes through, how open he gets. And again, of course, the obvious one, Hideki Matsuyama, they do it as their swing, pause at the top and move through, and they hit the ball still incredibly good distances, get the body moving really well, and it's just a foolproof way. But like we said, this is quite a hard drill to do. So this was the drill that really changed it for me, but I was so bad at it, like a lot of you are going to be out there when you practice it. Again, not selling it great, but again, it changed my life. It made my golf game so much better after months of practicing it. But there was another little drill that we did that bridged the gap that my coach gave me to say, if you're really struggling with it, do this drill. This drill here is going to make you better at this one, and then that's going to then start to improve your game. So let's get to that kind of bridging drill that we also did to help me get better at this, so I couldn't stop rushing the downswing. So what this other drill was the step through drill. So it looked a little bit like this, and explain why this is really good to do along with that pause at the top. So you would set up like normal, bring your left foot for a right-handed golfer over to your right, place the club in between the middle of your feet, and as soon as you take the club back, you step. So let's do one here and move through. So again, hard drill to do, as you could hear from the contact of that. Wasn't the best, it's kind of hard to do when it's quite cold out like it is here in Scotland. But it's a great one to, again, stop the body from rushing, and it's a little bit more of an easier step into the other drill, because when I am going and I'm stepping over, club out the middle and then stepping through, that's a nice strike, that one. It is getting that lower body to nicely start that sequencing, so you can't rush from the top with the upper body. So that's where, like I said, for me, my rushing from the top, hand path drop down. For most golfers, it's their overactive chest rotation, hands and arms flying out. Regardless again of what one, if you're doing the step and then step through, you're starting your lower body sequencing before you've even got to halfway back in that backswing. So you've already started that downswing lower body rotation, and it's almost impossible to rush the downswing. It is impossible to rush the downswing from there. And it's just a little bit easier to do than pausing at the top. So for me, I put in a ton of reps of these. Step over, club out the middle, and then swing through. Really, really good one. And for me, it is still hard to do with my cerebral palsy in my left side. Really makes it hard to get the pressure planting into that side there. So I think a lot of you have a better time doing it than me. But even for myself, it took me months to be able to hit good golf shots even doing this drill. And let's say, again, I think it must have been around 2 months before I then started to graduate onto the drill that massively changed it all to me, was the pause at the top. And then once I started doing the pause at the top, I was amazed that I could actually hit the ball. Because again, I was topping it, I was thinning it, fatting it. I think I missed it a few times when I first initially started to do it. And I wasn't a bad golfer at that time. I was playing off a 3 handicap at that time and struggling that much with the contact. But again, that just got everything in nice sequencing to where it was all flowing together, really nicely going through the shot. Again, this is a drill that takes a lot of patience to go through. It teaches, I believe, really that all-important skill of the discipline and patience that is needed to work successfully on a golf swing and get it as good as you can possibly get it. And that's why you even hear about players who have this similar type of feeling in a golf swing, like Rory McIlroy. When he's playing well, he'll often feel like the club is staying there at the top and he's having almost like a mini pause and then swinging down. That's a great way to be able to kind of get it into your golf swing. So that's why you don't necessarily need to do the pause out on the golf course. Again, it's just a drill, but it's a really nice one to then integrate it out on the golf course. Feeling like the club is staying at the top and just being patient is really, really good. Where ultimately, am I pausing the club there? It's feeling like I am. But again, if that's on the golf course and I'm just having that little bit of a weight there, that's going to stop those arms from being overly active, stop me from overly plummeting my hands down. It's going to stop you guys from having a little movement forward. Then if you pair it, for example, in between shots, so it could be on the golf course in your pre-shot routine, have a few where you're having a little bit of a step through. And then as you go into the shot, feel like you're pausing it for like a split second. So again, a quicker version than a drill, but you're doing it on the golf course for performance. And then you're not only going to be swinging in great sequencing, but you're also going to be swinging in a really, really good, powerful rhythm and sequencing. So again, guys, have a good work on this. If you're really struggling with rushing your downswing, this is what personally helped me a ton. So really just that general basic kind of feeling like you're waiting at the top, then swinging down, helped me a ton. Was the biggest improvement I've ever had in my golf really career ever. So my whole golfing life, I've never made such a big, substantial jump. I mean, I must have gained about 30 yards just like that once I started getting comfortable with that drill, because my sequencing was so much better. And again, without doing that drill, I doubt I would be here, you know, talking to you guys on YouTube, helping you improve your golf game. So again, if you enjoyed my videos, this drill is to thank of it. Otherwise, again, I would most likely have never continued with golf to become a professional, to then obviously be able to help you out here on YouTube. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too, to be notified every time I put out a video. And if you want help one-to-one on your golf swing, absolutely, there's a link in the description about online lessons on Skillist. I'll be more than happy to help you out and work together on your game to make 2025 the best season you've ever had.